You are listening to Fantha Tracks.
It's time to spin round the rim. This is Desert Planet Discs. Star Wars music in a single file. Here are your hosts, Carl Bayless and Greg Robertson.
Hello, what have we here?
Hello and welcome to episode 13 or track 13 of Desert Planet Discs. I'm Carl, and with me as ever on this wonderful journey is my good friend and co-host, Mr. Darth Elvis, Greg Robertson. How's it going, Greg?
Hot dang, brother. Yeah, all good, sir. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. We opened the show there with the phenomenal fingerstyle guitar talents of Feng E. That's F-E-N-G space E. Obviously, very, very talented guitarist that we found on the internet at good old YouTube.
Yes, stunning. Young talented guitarist, you know, it's not on.
Yeah, after our jobs.
You need to leave space for us old, talentless acts.
Yes. And of course, opening the show as ever, we had the wonderful Fantha Tracks fanfare music provided to us by the lovely James Semple. Thank you, James.
Thank you very much, sir.
And our intros by Mark Daniels, and various little nuggets you'll hear throughout the network, also recorded by Vanessa Harrison-Dula Marshall, who's recently been back on our screens in The Bad Batch, reprising her role of young Hera, which, having played her as more of a grown-up version, to sort of throw your voice back and pretend to be the same character but as a, I guess, teenager is quite a talent. So round of applause for Vanessa.
It's fantastic job. And
Yes.
younger Hera, obviously on Ryloth with the French twang.
Yes. Yes.
To Reaches takes away your accent, so you just can't.
Yeah.
But when back on Ryloth, it comes back.
That's it.
Which is, if you watch an episode of Rebels when she goes back to Ryloth, you can the sort of French sounding it starts to come back when she speaks to her dad. So yeah, it was very good. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yes. So anybody in the UK or generally across Europe will have noticed we've been having a bit of a heat wave lately. It's been a bit warm.
Hotter than Mustafar out there.
Hotter than Mustafar. Although I do have the official Star Wars app available for all platforms from your App Store or Google Android Play thing. And in there's a thing that keys into the sort of the weather. And it was saying last week when it was proper hot that sort of 26 degrees, that's centigrade obviously, felt like Endor. And that 27, 28 felt like Kashyyyk. I was like, well, I'm sat here in my lovely little office, sweating like nobody's business, and I'm not actually doing anything. Yeah, so those poor old Wookiees on Kashyyyk, if it's that warm on Kashyyyk,
I'd be
obviously,
waxed.
yeah, very, very, very warm. So don't envy them.
Not at all.
Yes, as I take it the big golden ball in the sky has been gracing the north of England as well.
I imagine so. I don't live there. I live in the north of Scotland. It's it's been very hot. We've had a bit of drizzle today. It's been a bit drizzly, bit dreich, as we would say up in the northeast. But it's about tomorrow. We're meant to get some Camino style weather. It's meant to be like thunder and lightning and proper chucking it down. But so far, it is very, very hot. We're not used to it. I'm going to protest. I'm going to do a petition to the government complaining about the fact that we shouldn't have to work in this heat.
That's it. Definitely.
Hi, this is Vanessa Marshall, and you're listening to Fantha Tracks.
Yes, so since we last spoke, any new acquisitions arrived at the Grey Star?
Yes, indeed. So I got a nice plaque from Elite Signatures, Paul Dunn. From Dennis Lawson, Wedge Antilles signed a plaque. And I just heard today from my good friends and friends of the show, all the cool stuff. My Wedge Antilles helmet has been shipped to be going on display with that lovely plaque that I got from Paul.
Very nice.
Yeah, I also got Jackson, Black Series Jackson up here from all the cool stuff. A prototype multicolored, but hopefully purple helmeted Boba Fett is on its way.
Hey!
Happy as can be. It's going to be displayed next to my purple-headed Vader, the purple-headed prototype gang. I'm excited. What about you, sir? What's been?
Not an awful lot, actually. I think they've mainly been very practical items. I was ordering something from a supermarket giant, Asda, part of the Walmart family. Yeah, we were ordering something for my daughter, who is mad on Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. So we were ordering, they've just had a new range of towels. We've just ordered her a couple of bath towels and a hand towel. But I happened to notice that they'd got Star Wars, like, trainer socks.
Ooh.
So there's a Vader, a Maul, a Stormtrooper, R2, and Yoda, which I have Yoda on today. So there we go.
Excellent.
So
For the listeners at home, also you can't. Carl is currently modelling his Yoda slippers, trainer sock things around the room. Very smart.
yes. So and there was also a bit of a flash sale on Zavi, and I picked up the Luke X-Wing pilot barbecue apron and oven mitt.
Ooh.
I'm not sure they would pass 501st muster as an official costume, but
Worth it. Aye, it's worth it.
yeah, it's worth a try. I am going to send some pictures to Mr. Mulcaster and see whether they would pass the Legion's. If not, then at least I can barbecue
In style.
in style. And of course, you only get the one oven glove because the other hand's obviously robotic. So
Yeah.
you
You pick by your robotic hand off the barbecue. You don't really need the oven. It's a waste of time. You just wasted some money there. You could
yeah, good point actually.
toys.
Oh, there we go. So, also going on in the world of Star Wars since we last spoke, obviously, Bad Batch is rumbling along very nicely.
3 episodes left.
Yes, it was episode, like ourselves, it was episode 13 this week, wasn't it? So,
Wasn't it?
we have, as I think we discussed last time, we've got 3 numbered episodes, but whether any of those are actually sort of combined into a feature-length one, or episode 16 is a feature-length one, we don't really know at this stage.
No, I think at this stage, all we know that episode 14, which is obviously coming this Friday, is called War Mantle. But there's been no episode titles leaked for 15 or 16, so it's a good title for 14. I'm quite excited about it.
Yes.
How did you feel about Infested?
Yeah, it wasn't the episode I was expecting, mainly because I think I'd said the week before in my reviews, which reviews go up every Sunday on fanthatracks.com from various members of the team for each episode of The Bad Batch. And I'd said in my episode 12 review that I thought the Ryloth episodes were almost like a bit of a sorbet before we got the plunge back into Crosshair chasing down the Bad Batch and presumably coming to some climactic conclusion in the final episode. So I was expecting that to pick back up in episode 13, and it didn't. We got, I think I described it as a cross between Geonosis and a Batman origin story.
Yeah, it was kind of like Creature of the Week kind of episode, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for this late in the series, felt out of place. They should have probably had that episode earlier on in the sort of when the episodes were going along.
I think the only thing that it does serve from the plot point of view is obviously with the previous episode we had Hunter sort of reluctant to go on the rescue mission, and Omega and Hera talk him round, and they actually come up with the plan. And then you kind of get a similar story with this, that Hunter doesn't see why they should put themselves on the line to go and save Sid, and it's Omega that talks him round again. So I think it's more about the development of her character, and it's pushing her role as almost the conscience of the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Which obviously wouldn't have worked earlier in the series. She's starting to establish her role within the team, and that seems to be her thing. But yeah, it didn't really advance much in any of the plot lines. It didn't really give a lot of character development, and it did feel a little bit like one of those treading water episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely my least favourite episode of the 13 so far. But looking ahead, I think we're going to have 3 episodes which are going to pick things up. Where do you see this going? I've got a little theory.
It's difficult. I don't know quite whether they're going to leave the series on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, we still don't know if there's actually going to be a season 2. I suspect there will be. I think there'll be definitely.
Yeah, I think they'd said originally. Has it been commissioned for 4 series? Or have I just made that up? I'm sure I've read or heard somewhere that
You could be wrong. Maybe they have.
the plan was certainly for multiple series. So there is going to be some element of what happens next. But I think basically it will boil down to the Crosshair conundrum.
Yes, that's where I was going with my theory.
It will either come to a head and he could get taken out by the Bad Batch. He could sell them out to the Empire, or they could do a number on him and somehow negate his chip, because that seems to have all gone quiet. Tech was working on something to interfere with the chips, wasn't he? And then they went off with...
Yeah, he built a tech reader to read the chips.
Yeah.
I don't think he was building anything to kind of interfere with them in such a way. Obviously, they went to that down to Star Squad to do the operation on the Bad Batch. My theory on this is, I felt at the end of episode 12, when Crosshair's talking to the Imperials, he says, do you want to go after the Bad Batch? I kind of felt there was something in his eyes in that last few shots that said the chip's not working, the chip's down, and he's turned back to the good Crosshair. I'm thinking that when we were on the same episode of the Downs thing, when the chips got sorted out for the Bad Batch, obviously he had that exhaust explosion go off in his face, and that side of his head where the chip is got badly burnt. I'm figuring that the burning of that caused something go wrong with the chip that's in his head, basically, and it's progressively deteriorated. That's the word I'm looking for, to the point that I think he'll catch up with them. There might be some altercation type thing, but ultimately I think the chip will have stopped working as it should, and he'll rejoin the Bad Batch. And all live happily ever after with Sid on Ord Mantell and Eat Mantell mix.
There you go.
Until all the size of Chopper, not Chopper, Wrecker. That's it. There we go.
So obviously one of us could be right, we could both be right to different degrees, or we could both be completely wrong. So stay tuned to the Bad Batch, and we'll no doubt find out what happens. And by the time our next episode comes out, we will have probably had the finale, so we'll be able to discuss then who was closest.
Yes, indeed. I think we might have a special guest on the next episode as well, so stay tuned for news of that.
Yes, fingers crossed.
Also released recently was the Cavan Scott High Republic novel, The Rising Storm. Have you had a chance to read that yet, sir?
I haven't. I'm a little behind the times on the whole sort of High Republic scene at the moment. The first 2 books that came out, I've got the audio books, but they're unfortunately slightly down the list at the moment.
Okay.
I'm currently, this is how far behind the times I am. I'm currently listening to I Am C-3PO.
Excellent.
The wonderful memoir of, obviously, Mr. Anthony Daniels. So I'm about halfway through that as we speak, and very much enjoying that. And I've also got the Dr. Aphra book, audio book, stroke. I think it's a full cast almost like radio play. And I do like me Dr. Aphra, the Marvel series that I've stuck with and got into out of interest and really, really enjoyed it. So old Jelly's next up on the listening block after 3PO. But I am then planning to try and dive into High Republic and get some semblance of idea of what people are going on about.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
So far I have the audiobook for Light of the Jedi, and I've listened to that. I haven't delved into any other books as yet, but I do intend to. Light of the Jedi didn't overly float my boat, I'll be honest. I found it quite hard to keep going with, but it hasn't put me off continuing on the journey, so I will be definitely picking up The Rising Storm and hopefully cracking into that soon, but also I need to pick up the earlier books as well and start reading the comics. So yes, that'll get done. Shall we have a musical interlude, sir?
Sounds like a plan.
Just with this one, this song is from the excellent High Adventure. Song's called Save Han. But whilst we're talking about High Adventure, we would both like to wish Glenn a very happy belated birthday. I believe it was his birthday not too long ago. So happy birthday, Glenn, from Desert Planet Discs.
Yes. Happy birthday, Mr. Nelson. And here is Glenn Nelson, High Adventure, with Save Han.
I was turning a profit and business was good. I was on top of the world, hard times had been withstood. An orange city in the clouds, with sunsets every night. I worked hard for my position, and I had earned the right. But then one day he came, the man beneath the mask. He didn't need no permission, no questions did he ask. Well, they came without a warning, they came without a call. And that blasted bounty hunter, well, he didn't care at all. I would have played my cards so different if I had known it all. I would have done it all so different, but I didn't see the fall. I could have saved my sacred city, and I could have won the girl. I would have been a different man, and I would have saved Han. They offered me a deal, but they played me for a fool. I should have seen it coming, but they altered all the rules. They were after someone else, a guy I never knew. But in the end I lost my friends, and I got ambushed too. I would have played my cards so different if I had known it all. I would have done it all so different, but I didn't see the fall. I could have saved my sacred city, and I could have won the girl. I would have been a different man, and I would have saved Han. I miss you, my old friend. One day I'll make amends. There's a lot I'm going through, but I promise I won't give up on you. I would have played my cards so different if I had known it all. I would have done it all so different, but I didn't see the fall. I could have saved my sacred city, and I could have won the girl. I would have been a different man, and I could have saved Han. I would have been a different man, and I would have saved Han.
Colorado Kamawalpa.
So that was Safe Hand by High Adventure, and once again, a very happy, belated 50th birthday to Glenn. And wouldn't you know it, somebody else is celebrating a 50th birthday this year, and that would be Lucasfilm.
Yes.
Oh, it's like we planned it again. We don't plan these things. They just happen by accident. We fall upwards.
Yes.
So with it being Lucasfilm's 50th birthday, we've had some more 50th anniversary Hasbro announcements from obviously the Hasbro PulseCon and various other events they've held recently. Starting off with the Power of the Force Lucasfilm 50th anniversary Cantina playset.
Yes.
What did you think of this?
Very, very, very nice. Sadly, it wasn't a hashtag Cantina playset, complete with a little Darth Elvis and Martin Keeler figures, but
how cool would it be to have a Taco Shirt Black Series Martin Keeler figure?
Yeah, wouldn't we
You need
all?
a Taco Shirt on it, don't you?
Wouldn't we all? It is the Cantina instead, so you get
Or half a
That's it.
Cantina.
yes, half a Cantina. Yes, buy two to get the complete Cantina.
Or
Almost like they like money and like you not to like money. Yeah, so you get Dr. Everson, Ponda Baba, and Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan Kenobi. And so expect to see lots of the figures doing the rounds when everybody goes out to buy two cantinas. Goes, well, I've already got one set of the figures.
no severed hand, though. I was disappointed there's no severed hand on that.
No
in that
seven
set.
hands, no.
No Wooler the bartender.
Yeah.
No Woody Harrelson. Wooler.
No hole in the top of the head guy.
No. Coming soon to a Darth Elvis video near you. Also announced on that video was the Trapper Wolf figure, otherwise known as Dave Filoni minus cowboy hat.
Yes, and several of the Black Series forums that I frequent have all said the same thing, that I think there's a good line now in 3D printed cowboy hats.
Yeah.
So, people are custom printing cowboy hats to go on their Dave Filoni figure.
I think you're going to have to do the same. That sounds like a plan and a half. And that's my plan. I'm definitely going to get one of those Trapper Wolves and Happy Hogan and have lots of Favreau Filoni adventures from behind the scenes.
Definitely.
Reenact the Disney Gallery.
That's it. And moving down the scale, we also got, as part of PulseCon, the announcement of the Emperor's Throne Room Vintage Collection scale, which looks absolutely lovely.
I am impressed with packaging for that. Have you seen it? So it kind of opens up like a pop-up book almost.
I've seen sort of the exterior shots of the box, but I think that's about all I've seen. I haven't seen. You get the full sort of throne room almost.
It kind of full like a pop-up book, and it obviously reveals like the throne window and the throne room. Probably not something I'll pick up myself at the time, but
there is a great disturbance in the Force.
So the other announcement we got was for fans of the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars series that originally aired on Cartoon Network, I think. Some really nice
vintage collection.
Yes, vintage collection with lovely card backs featuring obviously the comic art or the cartoon art of the various figures. So we got Ayla Secura, Luminara Unduli, Barriss Offee, an ARC Trooper captain, and an ARC Trooper. And was there a battle droid as well?
I think there was a battle droid as well. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Ooh. Naughty me, missing that off my list.
They also did Black Series announcements in a sort of Gendy Tanarovsky's micro series. But we haven't actually seen the figures yet for these ones. We've just seen pictures from the car.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people sort of complain about the lack of figure images for those, because
I would put myself in that camp, I think, because I'm not interested really in getting in that set we're getting a Clone Trooper, Mace Windu, and General Grievous.
Yeah.
But very nice having the packaging, obviously, of the cartoon image, but I would prefer to have the figure a bit more like the cartoon image as well. That's why I like the card back for the vintage collection ones.
Yeah.
So they look like more, realistic looking, the figures themselves, which I would have much preferred to have cartoon figures at the time.
Yeah, and I think that's a quite a valid thing, because obviously they've already done various clone troopers, so for a slight repaint, maybe slight retooling, extra bits, we've already had a Mace Windu and we've already had a General Grievous, so for a repack, maybe slight repaint, although Mace Windu was one of the more recent figures, so it already had the new photo real paint app. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what those do look like. But of course, the more stylized cartoon versions, I guess, is more where the Disney Toy Box figures are going, which there is an absolutely brilliant looking Ahsoka and pack at the moment.
Yeah,
I really want to try and pick that up, but
me too.
Disney stores are closing.
Disney store, get your act together, Disney store. I've been on your website. The shops there's a Wrecker figure as well, which has come out, which looks really cool.
Yeah.
So I want to give you some money, but I can't because you've shut all your Disney stores down. There's only the website, and they're not on there. I want them. Let me buy them, please.
Yeah.
Run over.
Usually it's only a matter of time. I think the same thing happened with the Mando and Grogu figure.
Yeah, they're back on now. You can get them. I haven't actually got round to that. I was kind of holding off, thinking I'll buy all of them at the same time and hopefully save myself some postage costs.
There we go. Yes.
But because of my upset with Disney over the Disney store, over the lack of Toy Box figures on the website, I think we should execute Order 66, Carl.
Yes, and what better way to do that than by playing a track by a band called Order 66. This is a track called Waist Length Cape, so no prizes for guessing who that might be referencing. And this is from their EP called All Too Easy, which is still available for download via Bandcamp, and the band are on Facebook, although don't seem to have really been active, certainly on the Facebook page, since about 2013, which is a bit of a shame, because if you like your pop all punky or your punk all poppy, these guys are rather good at it. So without further ado, let's listen to some Order 66.
This conversation's over, son, I've had it all before. I don't want your waist length cape in my life anymore. Seen a lot of things, but this is seriously low. Anything to keep galactic gas trade prices low. And there is still time to save a hand. On the east platform that day, all you were doing was saving face. It was all part of your plan. Holding off involvement till you felt the market swing. Maybe less low scrutiny of goods is just a thing. Nothing like political upheaval to allow. Cheeky cards and backhanders for those with the know-how. 25 again. The deal was all too long ago for a ball that at the end.
Hi, I'm Toby Jetson, and you're listening to Fantha Tracks.
That was the excellent Waist Length Cape by Order 66 from their EP All Too Easy. Go and buy it now from Bandcamp. Support the band is always appreciated. Especially in these are only just getting out to start gigging again, potentially. So yes, go and download that and check out some of the other tracks from that All Too Easy EP. Now, Carl.
Yes.
We weren't going to mention it, but we need to mention it.
What could that possibly be?
It's the rancor in the room. The elephant.
The rancor in the room.
The rancor in the room.
To be honest, if I've got a rancor in the room, I'd be wrong. Yes. So on I Am Your Father. On I Am Your Father's Day, Hasbro teased that there would be a new HasLab project, and that it wasn't going to be a ship, and it was going to be a Black Series.
Indeed.
And it seems that through an unfortunate series of events, we now appear to know what that HasLab project may well be.
I think we know what it's going to be. It was, I think, officially announced in StarWars.com, wasn't it?
Yeah. Although even the StarWars.com article said something about the next HasLab project may be...
It's a rancor.
It's a rancor, yes.
So, this is going to be good, I think. What do you think is going to be the stretch goals for this bad boy?
Oh, well, I think you've obviously your first sort of couple of things. I think you've got to go Malakili, the Rancor Keeper.
Yeah, definitely. That's the one I would definitely want. And if they need somebody to do photo remodeling, I am available.
Yes. Yeah, another one of my cosplays, along with Fat Thor, and now from the recently released Black Widow film, I've now got David Harbour's character is Red Avenger, is it?
Oh, I've not actually watched it yet, so I'm going to get round to it.
Spoiler free. Keep spoiler free. But
David Harbour's in it, and I've seen his costume, so yes, that'd be another costume I could probably get away with.
Yeah. It's definitely there is an in-gag about that as well, so I won't spoil that for you. But
spoilers. I think you have to get a bone, surely.
Yeah.
Big bone. You could already get Luke. There's already a Jedi Luke Black series, so they don't really need to put him in there again. Maybe Ula.
Maybe an Ula and half Gamorrean.
Half a Gamorrean guard, yeah. What about Malakiki's buddy? Get him as well.
Complete with tissue.
Twin pack. Yeah. Box of Kleenex, yeah. Intergalactic wet wipes. Wipe those tears out. All of them.
Yeah, maybe they could make it like those old, was it Tiny Tears dolls that you squeeze them and they cried?
Yeah.
There you go. You can have that idea on us, Hasbro.
Needs to happen. Make it so.
Yes. So yeah, I think other than that, as you say, like sort of a collection of bones, skulls, and obviously the big one that he jams in his mouth.
Yeah.
There isn't really a lot else that you can kind of partner up with it, I guess.
You can have a big gate and an interchangeable head for like sad Rancor when he gets his head squished.
Yeah. That's it.
And then have the same No More Tears doll type scenario with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see firstly when they launch it, because obviously the HasLab Razor Crest hasn't actually landed, no pun intended, yet. So It'd be interesting to see when they actually. I guess it will be towards the end of the summer.
Yeah.
End of August, September, that sort of time.
Just before the fall. And then we get into winter time.
And of course the run up to the festive period. And of course, one of the Marmite things that we had last year was the Holiday Troopers.
Yay!
Which divided opinion, but still seemed to sell by the caseload across both US and European markets. And we've this week seen a potential teaser via Yakface, their forum, of a potential rumour that there will be more Holiday Series figures.
Hasbro, if you're listening, please. This is the 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm this year. Give Greg holiday special Black Series figures. That's what I would like. I want Chewie and his family. I want Lumpy, Mala, and Mala, Itchy, and what's the one with Mala? Itchy, and the little one that whinges. That one. Lumpy? Is it Lumpy? What? Can't remember. Anyway, I want them, and I want Akmina, because that will go perfectly with your Cantina playset. We want
interchangeable.
Akmina.
Yeah.
Yes. That'll be another selling point to get another Cantina box sold. Give us Akmina, please.
Yeah.
B. Arthur in space. Best thing ever. Holiday special is the best thing ever. Toys, please. Carl, what do you reckon they're going to do?
The teaser art that we saw, and I don't know if this was actually like official Hasbro teaser art or was put together by somebody not of Hasbro, but there was a Vader helmet sort of done in a snowflake fashion, and also what looked to be a trooper helmet, but it looked to be a Sith trooper. Now, was there a Sith? I don't think there was a Sith trooper in the last.
No, I don't think so. We had it was like range troopers, first order troopers, and I don't believe there was a.
Yeah, there was a regular sort of TK in green, but I don't think there was a Sith trooper. So those two could be on there. But if I was a betting man, I'd be going along the lines of the Santalorian, complete with a little elf Grogu, because everybody knows Mandalorian and Grogu.
No, that's what I buy. I did refuse to buy those last sets, but that I might buy. Although I was very much interested in the Christmassy Babu Freak.
Yes.
So I've just brought up the picture of the last time we had. You had Snow Trooper Holiday Edition, you had Sith Trooper Holiday Edition, Clone Trooper Holiday Edition, Range Trooper Holiday Edition, and Stormtrooper Holiday Edition.
Okay,
so the Stormtrooper came with a Porg, the Range Trooper came with Dio, Sith Trooper came with Babu Frick, and I think Trooper came with another Porg. I can't quite tell if something came with the Snow Trooper or not.
Was one of them a Snow Porg?
Yeah, so in fact, the Snow Trooper also came with a Porg, with a little scarf, and the Stormtrooper looks like it's like a snowman version of a Porg. The Clone Trooper also had another Porg with a scarf on, and Dio had a red nose.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Do we think we'll get Rudolph the Red-Nosed Blurg?
I'm on board with that. I know a man that would be on board with that as well, Mr. Star Wars Santa himself.
Star Wars Santa.
He would be upset, though, if it wasn't a vintage collection. He's a vintage collection man.
Yeah.
The Martin Keeler taking the mick out of him because of the fact that you can get it as a hot toy, you can get it in the Mission Fleet, It'll probably come out in Black Series, and the Vintage Collection may be well down the line before you get Blurrg. But his argument for it is the HasLab Razor Crest. I think they said at some point that every character that's kind of been in that ship would be available in the collection at some point, and Blurrgs were on board the crest. This is Santa's argument. He says, I want a Vintage Collection Blurrg because I've ordered my Razor Crest, and we were told all the characters that interacted with the Razor Crest would be good.
There we go. And Santa obviously can't lie.
I see your point, sir.
Obviously, as we come out of the recent spell of hot weather and sporting events that have been postponed due to the pandemic, we've had the resurgence of a particular tune thanks to the football or soccer European Championships. Sweet Caroline by none other than the master himself, Neil Diamond. That was played at Wembley during several of the England games and seemed to be adopted as a sort of unofficial anthem throughout the tournament. And as if by magic, a certain Sith Lord had obviously already got a version of Sweet Caroline recorded, dedicated to the ever-present throughout the Star Wars saga, Sheev Palpatine. Darth Elvis and the Imperials. This was from the Celebration EP, I believe.
Was indeed, yeah, first released the night of #Cantina, and then included in the album 4, which, just not too long ago, was 5 years since #Cantina. Where's time gone?
Indeed. Lots of people posting up pictures of events or, selfies and pictures of stuff that was going on at Celebration Europe. About time they had another one, I think.
Yes, after Anaheim, make it so.
Yes.
Sorry, I keep quoting Star Trek. I shouldn't. It's the wrong show for that. Sorry.
Endearing yourself to Mr. Newbold, though.
Do it, you must. Do or do not.
So, would you like to introduce your song?
Yes, no worries. Hot dang, ladies and gentlemen, Darth Elvis here, and this is the #1 hit single from #Cantina. Ho, ho, ho. Yes, it's Sheev Palpatine, baby.
Where he began, I can't begin to know it, but then I know he's growing strong. He was a Sith, the Sith became the Emperor. Who'd have believed he'd come along? Lord, to your right. Now you don't seem so lonely. Follow the rule of only 2. And when I heard, hurting runs off my shoulders. How can I hurt when holding you?
sails up like a Captain Kirk. Beat me up tonight. Yeah! I can't wait till you're right beside me like a gold bikini Leia or a poison ivy. It's gonna be tight. Oh, at the con. At the con. See a Dalek from Doctor Who. At the con. At the con. And the Frost and Sailor Moon. At the con. At the con. Get crazy with a Pikachu. At the con. At the con. At the con. Meet me at the con. Meet me at the con. Stanley and a Spider-Man are gonna play some Settlers of Catan. We're gonna tabletop it. Wow! A Klingon, a Ferengi, and a Hammer of Thor. A Sorting Hat and a Dumbledore. There'll be no stopping tonight at the con. At the con. You'll be a Lannister, I'll be a Stark. At the con. At the con. I'm gonna buy some brownie art. At the con. At the con. We're gonna filk and we're gonna LARP. At the con. At the con. At the con. Meet me at the con. This line is so long. So long. Oh, why is this line so long? It's very. This line is for Will Wheaton. No! This line is for Joss Whedon. Oh! And who would be defeated in a battle between Wheaton? And who would get Seth Green? Oh! Gonna party with Mr. Spock and a droid and a hobbit and a Ewok. Each up a yup nub. Woo! At the con. At the con. See the Hulk and Harley Quinn. At the con. At the con. A Cyberman and the Super Friends. At the con. At the con. Next year we'll do it all again. At the con. At the con. At the con. Meet me at the con.
So, a double header there. We started with Sheev Palpatine, Darth Elvis and the Imperials, available on the excellent album 4. And we followed that up with Nerf Herder, who we played Parry Grip a couple of episodes ago and said we would be featuring Nerf Herder. So we did. And that track was called At the Con, because, as we speak, the UK has reopened, relaxed its various coronavirus restrictions, and we are indeed returning to conventions, albeit very cautiously.
Yay!
Yay! Yes, so I know several of the Fantha Tracks team have been out and about at conventions already, and I myself will be taking in the wonderful Echo Live convention on the 7th of August, and that's at the Kingfisher Shopping Centre in Redditch. Really nice collectors, vintage and modern show, and there is also a few classic trilogy guests. I should have prepared a list, really.
This is a convention I have been wanting to come down to since I first heard about it.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's not happened to date. I will make it down, hopefully at some point, maybe next year, because I miss going to cons and I need to fill in several parts of my vintage collection, and I believe Echo Live might be the place to do it, or hopefully maybe Farthest From, should that hopefully come back up and start running again soon. I'm just, as we speak, having a look to see if I can find the Echo Base Live guests this time around. I believe Yakface Sean Crawford's
Yes.
one of the guests, is that right?
Yes, and I think Michael Pennington's there, as is Julian Glover.
Michael Pennington, Julian Glover, Robert Watt, which
Robert
is
Watt.
a great announcement.
Yes.
Sean Crawford, as I mentioned, Chris Bunn, and Peter Ross.
Yes.
So quite a nice one. Andrew Loudon is also doing a Jedi Fight Academy.
Yes.
If you don't know who Andrew Loudon is, he was a stand-in double for Qui-Gon and Naboo Royal Guard. Where did I meet Andrew? I think I've met him at a convention before. I think it was maybe at Apple Sci-Fi Con, I think it was maybe there. But he was quite a character. Definitely one to go and meet.
Cool. Yeah, so I think there's a couple of us heading over to that one on August the 7th. So hopefully we'll get lovely content for Panther Tracks, both website and interviews for Making Tracks.
If you see one of the Fanthas in the wild, please stop them, take a picture.
Feed them.
Say hello, feed them. Yes, indeed.
Yes,
and,
yes. All gifts of food gratefully received. We've not been out in the world for
give us a review in person. But if you also give us a review in person, also do one for the website or the podcaster of choice.
Yes. So quite looking forward to that one. It's all in aid of charity, so they do raise a lot of money for good causes. So it's always a nice family atmosphere, that one. Very much like Star Wars Fan Fun Day.
Which again, hopefully 2022 will be returning.
Yes.
I was just going to say on the topic of Echo Live, check out the Facebook pages for Echo Vintage and Modern. They often do raffles and things for that charity as well. Can't for the life of me remember who the charity they're raising for at the moment is.
I know they did Beat, which was an eating disorder charity, was a couple of years ago, and then last year I believe it was Little People.
Yes,
Warwick Davis's charity, or charity that he's patron of. Yeah, as Greg says, definitely check out. There's also a page for the event, which is Echo Live on Facebook. So you can find out all the latest goings on. And of course, we feature a lot of the news on panthertracks.com. So stay tuned to the website and we'll bring you lots and lots of information. There's also a couple of show reviews on there and a couple of videos that we did several years ago when we were last able to go to such shows. But friend of the show, Marsha Parkins, will be in attendance as well, doing her Tops artwork. You can see a glorious piece of white cardboard turned into a beautiful illustration of Star Wars loveliness before your very eyes throughout the day.
Yeah, outstanding work from Marsha. So yeah, go check her out and buy some Tops art.
Yes.
Live and in person.
Indeed.
And enjoy being amongst your fellow Star Wars fans. I very much miss hanging out with my brothers and sisters of Panther Tracks and in my Star Wars family around the world. So come on, 2021, 2022, hopefully get back out there and see more of the galaxy.
And hopefully even the galaxy's edge.
Well, yes.
See what I did there?
maybe 2022 I'll get myself over there.
Yes, fingers crossed we can get over to Celebration and take a little cheeky trip to Galaxy's Edge while we're there.
Oh yes.
There we go. And with that,
time to wrap up another show.
It is indeed. So thank you once again for listening. And it's a hot down from me.
And it's a hot dang from him.
Hot dang.
Thanks for listening to Desert Planet Discs. If you want to stay part of the action and up to date on all the latest Star Wars news, check out the Panther Tracks app via the App Store on your mobile device.
You can contact us via email at radio@panthertracks.com. Comment, like and share on any of our social media feeds at Panther Tracks, and be sure to subscribe. Leave a review, preferably a 5-star one, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your podcatcher or smart speaker of choice.
Don't forget to head to fanthatracks.com/radio, home of Fanthatracks Radio, and follow us on our social media feeds at Fanthatracks, and bookmark fanthatracks.com for all the latest in Star Wars news.